when Brother Barber passed away, me and my brother went to clean out, because he was in the hospital room, but he still had his own personal room. And when Brother Barber passed away, my brother asked me to come help me take the stuff out. And I saw a weird looking type Bible. I didn't read it, and I didn't really pay attention to it much. But it didn't look like ours. It looked like ours at all. It didn't look like ours at all. It read differently. It had, I don't know if it was more pages in the back. It was thicker than ours. And there was this weird symbol on the top of it.
I wonder if it was Johannes Grieber's Bible. Would it be that one?
I have no idea. All I know is the minute that we touched it, there was three elders popped in and told us to leave the book alone and just take everything else out.
Oh my goodness! Oh. Another secret book.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny?
Yeah.
Johnny, this is David from Virginia.
How you doing?
I would like to know if they have any stocks in the stock exchange in the United States.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. There is. They were forced to because it was either that or become a public company entity themselves. But if they were to go public, they lose all their tax exemptions. If they were to go public, they would lose themselves as being a church. But when that possibility came around, they even actually have a broking firm, I believe, that's connected with the Treasury Department.
Yeah,
and it's not even that hard to get. All you need to do is call into Bethel, ask to speak to the Treasury Department, and after going to talk to the Treasury Department, ask for brokerage, and they'll take you, and they'll connect you. It's not that hard to find. You got to call.
Are they just investors that are in the Kingdom Halls or into the other places in the United States?
Usually, it's a lot of it is real estate. 90% of it is real estate that I've seen and that I've heard of is real estate. A lot of it is, and also I've also seen an influx ever since those letters went out about giving people giving the society your life insurance and your if you have stock, like that was what took the red light was when the brothers say if you have stocks and bonds and things like that, why not give it to society if you're not going to use them or if you're going to pass away? Well, if you have stocks and bonds, how would you manage that if you don't have any brokerages? If you don't have any brokers in order to deal with that, to deal with three different, I think from what I've seen, the society deals with two different banks. One is to deal with the direct funds that come in, and the other one is to pay the Bethelites and pay whoever else they need to be paid out.
Wow.
What bank, I wonder,
I just wanted to know about how the stocks were. Do they buy them straight out of the stock exchange, or do they just buy is the elders through the United States and around the world buy into this, or do they have like a business type plan that they laid out?
I believe that they have a business plan laid out because of the brokerage firm that they have working with them. I believe that they have it done that way. I know many brothers who have given has given Watchtower stocks and things like that, and it was hilarious. It was funny to see that they did. Yes, we do have a brokerage firm connected with the Treasury Department. And it's because of the fact that they're not taking in as much money as they do. I don't know if you noticed, if any of you have been to assemblies, but just about every single assembly I've been to for the past 4 years, there's always a deficit somewhere. For every new announcement, they're trying to shake you for more. Like announcements now have at least announcements that they're just trying to shake you for more and more. So it's getting out there.
What
so
do
what
they
about
need
the
all
life
the money
insurance
for
policy?
downsizing?
Have a life insurance policy out on you, and would they try to get that away from you?
What?
Before you died, would they try to get the life insurance policies away from you and have it signed over to the society?
Well, they have. They've made announcements that you can make the sole proprietor of your estate or of your life insurance policy to pay out to the Watchtower. They've done that. That's been in I don't know how many halls that's been, but that went out, and so. But we've had a lot of people, a lot of people with a lot of money who are maybe stage 4 cancer, who are signing over a lot, to say when we pass away the Watchtower gets everything. And I know that there's going to be some angry people out there, some angry children, especially some angry children who are going to be left broke when their parents give everything to the Watchtower.
Wow.
I know I would.
I just wanted to make sure that.
Yeah.
Because of some of the problems that they're selling off real estate all throughout the United States. I know that, and I see a lot of the people in the state of Virginia, Maryland, D.C., and South Carolina, North Carolina, pretty much giving things away to them.
Oh, there's also another thing that might be going on soon because they are moving us around a lot, which makes me. They're moving the construction team for the past year and a half have been on halt. As you know, they haven't been constructing much. They've only been doing RVC work, So when it comes to Bethel buildings, there hasn't been much work being done on them, right? Funny thing is, for the past few months, they've been trying to get every construction architect that they can get their hands on. I don't know why. And one brother told me it has to do with something underground. Not like underground, not like the tunnels in Bethel, but deeper underground. And they won't say where, but.
Go ahead.
Oh no, they just won't say where.
I have a question about the RVC.
Getting ready to build bunkers.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Because if they have underground bunkers they're building, and they're building them through out in New York or something, and a lot of other people need to know this. Plus the other problems that are going on. I would like to really know how they're getting more funding through the stocks, and I would like to know if there's people out there have names and going into the stock exchange in that aspect.
Well, personally, there's only one stock that I know of that the society was looking at very, very intensely, and I believe that their name is I think it's something it's Drillo Americana. It's a South American oil drilling company. They're very small, but they do a lot of. They're very, very progressive. They're very, very small, but they're very, very progressive. They always, they're very, like I said, they're tiny, but they do make money. I saw that because, again, every time a computer breaks down, we have to fix it, and when we're not snooping in on people, we're fixing computers, and when we find things, we find things. No matter how much you delete things, we could always find it, And
exactly.
Yeah, and when I saw that, I was taken back. I'm like an oil company. What is Watchtower gonna? Can we change the Watchtower to the Watchtower symbol to an oil derelict? Seriously, I didn't know what to think of it.
So much for Paradise Earth.
What about the money that they get funded to these bigger companies like the paper mill and the ink
when it comes to papers and inks, a lot of that comes from, contributions, things like that. But they're independent projects that they have going, like the secret ones right now that they're not telling anybody about. I don't know where the funds for that are coming from.
I have a question about the RBC stuff.
Yeah.
I've talked about this on the program before, but I haven't heard anyone else like mention this or corroborate it. I'm in Florida, and back when we had all those hurricanes a couple years back, we did a lot with the RBC and roofing and fixing people's houses for free, but they would ask for people's insurance money after that. Do you know about that happening, or because I don't know if I'm just crazy? It's a long time ago.
No, because the same thing happened inside Louisiana.
Yeah.
During Katrina. What I know some people would do is that they would assess the damages, and what they would do was they would ask for your insurance information, or if it was an extensive job, an elder would come and ask, if when you get your check from the insurance company, would you mind, giving half of it to the society, or if not half, all of it. And of course, when someone fixes your house, how you going to say no,
Of course.
I mean, a couple of times I did. A couple of times, I was down there for about a week, and I was there for a week, and then by accident I went into a house without proper gear on. There was mold all over the place, so I had to go back up. But I just thought that a lot of these people, some of them were really old. I mean, they could use a check anyway. But then again, if you come hat in hand after we fix your house, it's hard to say, no, you know what, I think I need this money anyway.
Well, just to add to that, I'm from South Mississippi, and I live with my sister, and, we had people that came in our area and helped rebuild. And I remember at the time, a lot of the people in the congregation, they would say this, and my sister said this, well, I'm so thankful for the friends coming down here. So when I do get my insurance check, I'm just going to send it to society and give it to Jehovah. So that's why a lot of people reason about it in South Mississippi, where I'm from, which I don't see anything wrong with that, because that kind of, people did come down and help, so that's them showing their thanks for that. And so a lot of people, that's how they reason on it, and so as far as I can see, that's what they did.
Yeah.
I actually have seen you there. We went to the Long Beach congregation a couple times, and based out of there for roofing and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm from Pascagoula.
The thing I didn't like was basically that sometimes they would push it. I don't mind.
Oh yeah.
If you genuinely feel that you want to give it, I think that's fine. And on top of that, if you have it, but not to say that that your house is the only thing that was affected. You still have to think about your land. If you had land. If you had a car, which is probably on top of somewhere else or inside of some type of ravine somewhere, there's other things you have to think about. But if you have it and you can say, okay, you know what, I want to give this, that's fine. But if you have elders come down and say, there's a lot here, could you, would you, can you give me some money and stuff like that? That's when I think you cross the line, especially people who are elderly. That's
right. Right. But a lot of people, that's how they reason on it. They say, well, I'm going to give this to Jehovah. I remember hearing that said, as groups got together and they talked about this, and I think they felt compelled to do it because they saw the work that others were doing, and then, in turn, it made them want to get involved with it, too, which I did. I felt compelled to, even though I was on my way out at the time.